Incident where there were probably a couple of hundred people there, and a lad got attacked by what he described as 20 kids, but because he were there and people were going and giving statements, I said to Jay, I think you should go and do a statement, because they were appealing for witnesses and what have you. So I took him myself. I took him to the police station at Blackburn, Greenbank Police Station, and he gave his version of events, and he weren't, I didn't think anything of it. I just said, just go, tell them your version, and that were that. Nothing were really mentioned afterwards. There were names flying around, and obviously there is a big group of friends. And then it weren't till the following April, so that was the August, following April, a letter came through saying that Jay were being charged with violent disorder, and I like, what's going on? So I rang the police station straight away, and because Jay's name had been mentioned, out of 20 people who'd apparently attacked him, there was eight boys that got named, and Jay's name were one of the names. Jay attended the trial. The statements that were taken saying Jay was stood at the back, but obviously the 8 were found guilty by jury, and they were all found guilty, and they all got community service. It's kind of guilty by association. Don't mean to say that he struck a blow, that he harmed Tom, and I think he's seen him since. There's grown men, dads, granddads, who get done for violent disorder for a fight that breaks out, say, outside a football stadium most weekends, but because of, obviously, Jay's in the limelight, they just every bad thing that they can say about him, they have done. They don't know Jay, they don't know his background, they don't know his upbringing, they don't know anything about Jay, these people.
Just all these people who were just saying horrible things about him, he weren't that person. He loved being with his family, and they weren't a bad person. People dragging up all things that they don't even know about when it was in court. It was to him earlier on. They'd just been chilling round their apartment during the day because they were obviously tired, because they'd been to the Friday event, the Saturday event. The Saturday event were the pool party. Spoke to me earlier, and he said he'd burnt his shoulders, and I'd packed him off with some living, aloe vera, like after sun gel. I said, make sure you put that on, and I said, what you doing? He said, we're going to go and get food soon. And then he were walking, him and Brad were, because he said, why have you booked an apartment so far away? And I said, because I wanted you to have somewhere, nice to stay, because you've got your 3-day event and then you've got another 4 days, and I wanted you to be somewhere nice. He said, we're going for food, and then we're going to the last night of the event. He said, I'm not going mad, I'm going to have a few drinks, I'm not going mad because I don't want to be, I don't want to be rough, and I want to enjoy the rest, get a tan and stuff. I said, watch what you're doing, enjoy yourself. I love you. He used to call me mother, I love you, mother. So I say, I love you, my boy, and that were the last things.
Dear Miss Duncan, why bother to go to all that fuss for a young man who was a druggie and behaved so badly in court, laughing and joking? What will you do with all that money foolishly donated by idiots who respond to the begging GoFundMe? Stupid, no doubt, we will ever be told.
everybody wanted Jay's story. I weren't aware of what were going on back here. I weren't aware of what were going on. I would have sat in a room in Tenerife getting terrorised by, well, trolls, just calls. We know where Jay is, he's done this, he's done that. All these videos that were going around with, voice, like girls screaming Jay, and he's been stabbed on a beach, and oh my God, the stories, they were just unreal. I can't even describe the kind of human beings that they are, really. To sit and go through to all that trouble, all that effort to just rip me apart by trying to say that, he's in a hall, he's chained up, and just disgusting, absolutely disgusting. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, that the torment that I've had to go through and that I'm still going through. I got I can't even remember what it on the WhatsApp.
WhatsApp message, yeah.
A WhatsApp message. You'll never see your boy again. He owes me all this money. And I thought, well, what is going on here? We've only just arrived in Tenerife, and like, what the hell? I mean, I wanted to believe that he'd been chained up, because at least that way I knew that he was still breathing somewhere. I wanted to believe he'd been kidnapped and he were being held, because I thought, well, he's alive somewhere. Anything. He was still breathing. That were my, as horrible as it were. The first night, second night, I said to Zach, there's a pen there and a pad. I said, we'll start writing these numbers down. Within, half an hour, we had a full page. And then obviously, because I have WhatsApp, they were ringing me on WhatsApp, sending me images on WhatsApp and videos on WhatsApp. The ones that look like Jay, that he's got something wrapped around his neck, that he's all beaten. I mean, somebody got sent a video, and somebody sent it to the Spanish police, actually, of a young lad being beaten. The Spanish police actually did act upon that, but it wasn't Jay.
Oh, they tracked it down, didn't they? 10 years ago in Russia.
Yeah, they ended up tracing it.
Down,
yeah. It's like these people kept frantically trying to contact me to say, go to the beach. There's a video of somebody digging a hole on the beach, and it looks like they've dragged a body into this hole, and honestly, you just wouldn't believe the stuff that we got sent. And you're thinking, oh my God, and you're watching it. I mean, Spanish police did give us a private number to WhatsApp anything that we thought relevant. Probably kids, like young kids. I mean, you could tell weekend came and it were like, obviously they weren't at school. I think if I'd have took every single one on board, I'd probably be in a bloody locked up in a padded cell by now. There were one that got reported, but it was just a young kid who lived miles and miles away. And I've got the letter there, and I just think, is there any point now? Just loads of messages, just making his own story up, really, about Jay, that he'd been murdered, and he made out that it were him that had
pushed him.
I'd love to be a law against what people have done to our family. I would absolutely love it. Something needs to be done, because it was just vile. I would like to pursue, definitely, yeah. I just don't know how people can just get away with destroying people. I mean, whoever thought it were a good idea to start all these pages, Facebook pages, Jay Slater missing, Jay Slater discussions, Jay Slater this, Jay Slater that. They just, do they not have jobs? I don't know. How do they find time to do these things? It's shocking. The money is still sat there and I'm scared of even touching it, which I were right from the beginning, and they've had to kind of reassure me that, you know, these people donated because they wanted to donate, because Jay obviously touched the hearts of the nation and they wanted to help his family, which they have helped his family, because obviously we stayed in Tenerife for 6 weeks. We all came out, we all funded everything because we obviously didn't know what were ahead of us. But yeah, we've had to use some for accommodation and to stay there for all that time. Getting up to the capital, to the police station, going up to the funeral place. Obviously, we've got funeral costs now. We've got the file's not closed for repatriation, as I've said. They've got a property. They've got things that they've kept for the post-mortem in Tenerife that we're still going to have to arrange for repatriation again.